Hey guys, welcome back to LetCode once again. So today we are going to learn how to configure with the tsup. So already we have a video on the YouTube as well as on our Udemy course. So please refer to this video before learning this video. If you aware of tsup, then absolutely fine. Okay. So whatever we have done so far is like we have once we execute all the tests, you can see like we have this left hand side while the test names are there, and if you go inside that we have the project name, and once you click on this particular guy, you can see the status is passed the demo to do, that is the file name, and this is the test name, right? So all are looking great as we have in our autonomy report, but of course there are some css enhancement are there in the autonomy report which I haven't focused on this tutorial playlist, so that's where you're not getting exactly, but the test data or how to pass the data are same. Now if you go back to the dashboard, you can see this failed, right? So we have around 27 failure test script, but if you go and see any of the failed test script, you can see the text is failed, but the tag color is basically green, right? But what it should be like, it should be like, instead of is success, it should be like danger is danger. So now you can see the color is red, which is of course easy to understand that hey, it is failed. How do we I know that? Is very simple. If you go to the Bulma documentation elements like slash tag, you can see like we have this primary link bio, info, success warning, and danger, right? So we have to use this tag. To use this tag not only for coloring but also to, you have to do certain changes in your HBS file. So what we are doing is we just hard coded the value as is success, but what you have to do is you have to make it dynamic, like based on the status. If it's pass, I will embed the success. If it's fail, I will embed the danger. If it's skipped, I will embed the like dot info, test dot info. So info is basically your this one, right? So that is how autonomy report is configured. So if you go to the skipped one, you can see it's a blue color, right? So it's a info tag. And if you go to the failed one, this is basically your red color. So that is how the CSS and your if conditional statement will take place in yeah, I will cover that in the Udemy course, but not in the YouTube course because people are not watching it and I don't want to waste my time. At least people who pay, I believe they will at least have the willing to watch fully, so that will be beneficial for both of us. Okay, so anyways, let's not worry about these things. Let me close this one. Okay, so we are going to do the tsub setup. So already I have explained how to do that, so let me just give you a quick recap. We should have the tsconfig file where we'll say like what is our compiler options. We are targeting to the ECMAScript version of 2020, and we have module of common.js in the sense like if you want to use the require within your TypeScript project, of course you can use this one. Then strict in the sense like if you want to check for data type for each and every variable objects, probably you can make it as true, but I'm going to make it as false. Default is false only. So because few of the things we don't have to do the checking. And yes, model interrupt. So if you want to import the common.js files, of course you can use this one. Okay, and we want to focus on src, like within the src folder, whatever the files are there, we want to focus on those. And output directory, you can either have this output directory in your tsconfig or in your tsup file as well. Okay, I will prefer to have in config file. And then if you go to the tsup, here we have the format. We want to get it in the common.js module as well as the ECMAScript module. And then with this is our main file, so I have a entry. And then the document, not document, this is the declaration file. So declaration file will have your class name, methods name with the variables and also with the parameters, but it will hide the inner implementation. So it will just a like a schema or skeleton. It will show us what is there and how to use it, but it will not give us any internal implementation. So that is the use of DTS, declaration file, basically. Okay, now yeah, first step, you have to make use of your tsconfig file. Just copy paste. I will link the link. I will link my GitHub repository in the description. You can go and check it out. Okay, and then we have the tsup configuration. So this is already we learned in our second part of video. So yeah, you are good to go. Now if you go to your package.json file, Okay, let me delete this dist folder first of all. So dist won't be there, so I just practice now, so that's why we get this one. Okay, so in the package.json file, this is very simple whatever we have so far. Only few things I'm going to change here. For example, I want to have my main module and the module, I mean main, the module and the types. Types is basically your declaration file. Module is basically your MJS. MJS will be used in the TypeScript project as well as JavaScript projects where we have the Babel configuration. And main is basically if you are using only JavaScript file, it will be used. Okay. Now, where is the dist? Dist, of course, we have to generate. So if you go to the package.json scripts, we are going to add one more script, that is build. And in the build, we'll add the command like tsup. You can either use npx tsup or tsup. Tsup, if tsup is not working for you, you can probably use like npx tsup. That will also work. In case tsup is directly not working, then go with the npx. Okay, but it should work, I guess, in most of the cases. Okay, now we are going to build it. So npm, then followed by run, then followed by build. While building, we have to do some other configuration as well. So for example, here you can see target 2020. So tsup will take your tsconfig by default, and then it will do the execution. So if you go to the dist folder, you can see like we got the d.tsi. This is what I am saying, declaration file. In the declaration file, you can see we have only one export of autonomy report, but we want to make sure that autonomy report config is also exported so that user can use it. What do I mean? In the sense like, let's go to desktop, let's create a new project. Okay, so let me rename this to test dash report. Okay, so we are just preparing to build the package and release, right? So it is not a good way to test within your development project itself. So if you go to your playwright config file, here you can see like we are focusing on the autonomy report, which is within my src folder, and my template is also within the src folder. So eventually it will work. But if you see, once we build the project, we got the dist folder. This dist folder alone will go to our npm.js project. For example, if I go to the autonomy report package in the npm.js.com, you can see if you go to the code section, you can see we have this changelog, we have package, we have readme, we have license, and we have only the dist folder. Apart from dist folder, we will not get anything. So if you go to the code section here in the autonomy report, what we have done is we have on end we are developing this template.hbs file within the current directory. So within the src directory, we have this template file, so of course it is going to work. But when we build the package, we have only the dist folder where we don't have the hbs file or utilities file or any of these files, right? So will it work? It should not work, correct? Let's go and check that. So I'm going to test in another project. I'm going to create a new project. Let's name like test report, and I'm going to use my install playwright with the help of Microsoft, the what is this extension. Okay, and also we want to do the testing, right? So we have to do the link. So I will say like npm, then followed by link. Yeah, we have linked it successfully. Now in this project, I'm going to do, okay, let me should find, okay, here I'm going to say like npm, then followed by link, and then followed by autonomy dash report dash demo. What is this autonomy report dash demo? In the sense like, if you go to your development project in the package.json, this is your identifier. If you remember, I said in the very first or second video, this package name should be unique, and this is your identifier. Whatever you're going to give it here, that is how it's going to work. And it says like not found. No, that's a bad news. npm link, then followed by autonomy report demo. Yeah, I think I have done some spelling mistake. Yeah, so you can see I have missed the e in the report, so that's why it didn't work. Okay, anyways, yeah, we have linked it successfully now. Right now, what we'll do, we'll just simply go to our playwright config file, and let me delete this comments here. So I want to use my own report. So I'll just go and say like within the tuple, I will say like Autoni report demo. So this is our package name. So if I remember here in this development project, okay, let me rephrase. So this project is, I'm going to name it as development, and this project is going to be your testing. Okay, so the bigger window is your development, the smaller VS Code is different. Actually, I cannot set theme for different browsers. So if I change in one place, it will be changed in another place also. So since I have only one monitor, not even monitor, I am using my laptop. Okay, I forgot what theme I was having. That was really good. Okay, I forgot which one I was using. So I'll just go randomly now. Yeah. So if you see in the development project, we have this SRC report autonomy, right? So that is how we are generating the report. But when we come to this particular guy, here we have to give the package name. That is how Playwright will understand. Not only Playwright, if you take any project, we have to give the package name. That is how it works. Okay, and here we want to import the autonomy report config. But if I try to import it, right? So import, and here you will say like autonomy report demo. And if I give control space, here you can see like we are not getting any suggestions. And even if I remove this, here also you can say we are not getting any suggestions. That's because we have imported only the so if you go to your declaration file, you can see we have exported only the autonomy report as default, but we forgot to export this guide. So that's the issue. So we'll do the export now. So what we'll do in the sense like we'll go to our SRC. So you should not do any changes through the dist folder. Dist folder will dynamically generate, dynamically in the sense like once we run the build command, it will generate. So you should not do any changes on the dist folder. Rather, whatever the changes you are going to do, whatever the mistakes you have done already, you have to rectify it. Means you have to do it in this class, okay, in this folders. Okay, so we are going to export the um, autonomy report as well, right? So we'll say like export, then followed by autonomy report config as autonomy report config. Okay, and here we have already the default. So let's remove the default here, and here we'll say like export autonomy report as default. Okay, so as default in the sense like it will have the same name. If I try to give like as default again here, it will not work because only one default export is allowed within a class file. So I'll just name it like, I don't want to give any other name, so I'll just say like autonomy report config as autonomy report config. I don't think you need the alias as well. So if you don't want to give any other name, you can just remove the as, that is alias. So it should work fine. Okay, now let's go and build this again. So npm run build. Okay, so the build is complete, successful. Now if I go and if I give control space here, you can see we are getting autonomy report as well as autonomy report config. So that's the beauty of bundler. Okay, now here I can say like const, then followed by report, then followed by config, and I want to give a type. This is going to be my autonomy report config, and here I can set the value. So if I give control space, now you can see we have this following things, right? We can give the author name, we can give the file name, we can give the preferred theme, project type, all those things. Okay, let's go and give all the details. So I'm just going to quickly copy paste from here. Let's not waste time. Just for the sake, I will just use this one demo, and here we'll have the file name as result or report dot html. Is it html or html? What was that? Yeah, we have to give only the file name, so let's give the file name. Okay, yeah, that's it, right? Now we have to pass this report config to here, right? So we'll just add a command and we can pass it here. That's it. So we are pretty much done. Now let's go and execute everything. So I'm going to run in 3 parallel instance, and I'm going to run all my tests. So let me move this from this folder, and let me delete this folder. And of course it will run in parallel. So npm npx playwright then followed by test. Anyways, it's going to fail actually. I mean, the script execution will get complete and then the report will not generate. So that is what I wanted to show you actually, because if you see in the development project within the src folder, we have this utils, we have this hbs file, the template is there, right? So but the template is not there within our dist folder. This utils and this types will be also there within the js file. So if you go to the js file, and here you can see like TypeScript only notes these types things, right? This interface only TypeScript know. This JavaScript doesn't know. So if you go to the attorney report.js file, you can see it didn't use that. It might have used, but not exactly how we are giving that in the JavaScript. Okay, yeah, this is the error I wanted to show you. So for example, here you can select error in report error, file, no such file, and it's looking for template.hbs file within the dist folder. So here you can see like or Tony report demo, then followed by dist, then followed by the template, but it says like the template is missing in the dist folder. So that is the issue uh, we have. So what we have to do is, when we build the project, when we release the project, we have to make sure of all the path things and what are the mandatory files are there. Okay, so how I usually do is like how I have maintained, in the sense like I have not kept my hbs file within the src, rather I just moved within the dist folder itself. So for example, if I just move it to the dist folder, and types, you don't have to worry about any of your javascript or the typescript folder, because tsup will take care of that. But as I said earlier, hbs is not your javascript or the typescript folder file. So type tsup bundler will not aware of this. So that's why we have to, like, if you have icon, if you have svg, if you have css, all those should come within the dist folder. So if you go to the autonomy report, right, if we go within the dist folder, see we have a lot of folders here. The types are there, but eventually this is also not required. This is just for your what do we call that, I just kept it there. But yeah, if you see, the css is there, the icons is there, the hbs files is there, along with all the mandatory files are there. Okay, so now I just moved the hbs file over there. Now I'm just going to build it again. Build is not required, I guess, but since we have moved the file, we'll just build it once again. And then if I go back to my testing project, and if I go and run, let's not run everything, it's taking time. So I'm just going to mark few tests as skip. So we learned how to develop the project, how to test it, how to link it, how to do the local testing. So from the next video, we'll learn how to create an account in the npmjs.website, and then followed by we will also learn how to release it with all the necessary informations like the readme file. So any node.js package, right? So the readme is very important. If you don't have, because this things, right, this is coming everything from your readme file. If you do not have the readme file, your user will not know what is happening or what does your project is actually. Even after adding readme, some people are like, this is not working, that is not working, because they don't have time to read it fully. That is what I believe. But yeah, the readme is very important, so we'll do that. Okay, now let's wait for this execution and let's see the report. Yeah, now after adding the file, you can see we got the report. This is report.html file. If you go and open this file in the browser, you can see we got the beautiful reporter that we created, right? So this guy has this test. If you click on that, this one things. Okay, so I hope you have learned how to develop, how to test it, how to do all the necessary changes. So that's it for this video. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be happy to reply. Tada, bye bye, take care.